It's Sunday again, and we're in the habitat garden this week. As you can see, there's plenty of colour in the garden at the moment. The pond at the top of the garden is full of colour. We've got the yellow flag irises in the back, the angelicas coming into flower, and there's some big tall bearded irises at the back, and the red is the Welsh poppy. And what's fantastic now is the Jenny Pickford sculpture that you can see in the distance. The archway is still covered in flowers, so that's Rosa Banksia alba, and it's had a great year. It's been flowering for about 4 or 5 weeks now. This has become a bit of a sort of salvia bank here. You'll see lots of different, most of them are the microphyllars, a lot of people ask me why we use a lot of salvias in the garden, and what I found over the last 4 or 5 years is things like the birds, especially the greylags and the rabbits, and that tend to leave a lot of those sage family alone. So we tend to use a lot of those because they don't get predated on so much. There's some choice shrubs coming into flower at the moment. Just as we turn the corner, there's the corner right on by the gabion basket here, and the shrub behind with the red sort of ruby flowers is a plant called Calycanthus. What I've tried to do in the last couple of years in the habitat garden is increase the diversity of species in the garden. So as you go down, there's a lot more different plants in the garden than what there used to be. Basically to try and encourage more and more bees into the garden, and we tend to leave things like the foxgloves and that coming up because they attract the bees. We're in the bottom of the habitat garden now, and if you look down through, a lot of the oxeye daisies is coming into flower at the moment. I'm going to have to go through and thin quite a bit of that out because it's competing with a lot of the plants that I've planted in there. And as you can see through to the chalk mound where the cow pasture sculpture, you'll see plenty of oxeye daisies out there, so it's not quite needed in this area. Going down the path, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, this is the daylilies that were donated to us a couple of years ago. So there's about 30 different cultivars of daylilies along there, and as you pan back across onto the other bank, there's lots of other different species, and again trying to increase the diversity of species that we've got in the garden. Yeah, there are a lot of salvias in there, but there's also a lot of other plants as well. What looks fantastic at the moment is the stiper. The grass in front of the pyracantha there, that's Stipa gigantea, and that kind of repeats itself down through the garden, and it starts all the way up at Hoot's house in the Infinity Garden, and I've kind of got that repetition going all the way down through the garden. We're nearly into June, so you know, the last couple of days has been really strong wind. So it's really drying things out in this garden, so I need to do quite a bit more planting because I've got it in my tunnel. So over the next couple of days I'll get that in, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to put the irrigation on to water those things in. But hopefully you're all keeping well, and we look forward to seeing you back at Pensthorpe very, very soon.